wonderfully cold -1 day. I'm not exactly sure why the thermometer is saying that it's 5. It's actually -1 outside. Plus, we've got a wind chill of about negative, I think it said 18. Of course, it feels like negative 5,000. Absolute zero, whatever. Just got done with the credit union. This is officially the last time that I have to pay rent, and it feels good. The mortgage company automatically takes the money out of my account, so I don't even have to worry about writing checks or anything else like that. Actually, for me, it falls on the 12th of every month, but on the 12th of every month, I will be having my mortgage automatically taken out, and it is awesome. That's the very last time that I have to actually get a rent check. I had to pay for January. We actually got we're paid up at the house until February 12th, so I still have to pay my last month at the apartment because my lease expires on the 1st of February. And we were able to negotiate the basically just some closing costs and not have to worry about the first mortgage payment until the 12th of February. So we got lucky there because I was worried that I was gonna have to make a house payment and also have to make rent payment at the same time. What the fuck was that? I mean, seriously. There are so many stupid people here, and I was gonna get over in that lane and look at him. Look how reckless that asshole is. Some people are just unfucking believable. I mean, seriously. That's the shit that pisses me off. That's the shit right there that people say, oh, you shouldn't get so mad because he's not holding you up any. No. He may not have held me up any, but basically, he does that shit probably everywhere he goes, and he keeps speeding up as I'm speeding up. I'm doing 45 now. He keeps speeding up, so he's probably going to get back over here because he's got to turn right up here. I mean, seriously, the guy keeps speeding up. What the fuck? So anyway, oh, he's going to turn left here. Oh, what a fucking asshole. That's all there is to that. A good old finger works well. Anyways, as I was saying before I got that crap, so last time for rent check, and it's gonna feel good to actually drop it off. I might as well go straight. It's gonna feel great to actually drop off the last rent check, and you know, it just 8 years. 8 years we lived in that place. 8 years we lived in that apartment. Now, I'm not knocking the actual area, but we had so many problems with the new landlords. When we first moved there, it was a highly desirable apartment complex. It was run by good owners. They took care of their tenants. You know, if you had a problem with rent, so what? They'll take care of you. Whatever. The new owners, the only thing on his mind was profit. His name was Dr. Saki or something. I can't remember. But anyway, his name is. And it actually caused a news story to pop up. And this is something that I never wanted to talk about on YouTube because people who were publicly outspoken or outcrying about the stuff that was happening, he would not renew their lease. And I didn't want to get into a situation where I badmouth the place and then he find out somehow through my channel or some friend or whatever that I was badmouthing him, and then he wouldn't renew my lease. And then at the time we didn't know if we were going to be able to get a house or anything else like that, so I was really playing it quiet. But now that we don't live there anymore and I have the very last rent check in my hand, and I've already filled out my paperwork to move out, so they know that I'm moving out, I can say whatever the hell I want to. The guy ran the place into the ground for about 4 or 5 years. We had all sorts of problems. Things weren't getting fixed. Things weren't getting repaired. You know, the lawn work was horrible. The roof needed to be completely replaced. Stuff just started adding up. He was going through maintenance people like water because they would get hired on. They would realize what a mess it was, they would make the recommendations as far as what needed to be fixed, and he would, make some unethical decisions, and they just basically said, I don't want to work here anymore. Or if they actually stood up to him, then he'd be like, well, you're fired. You either do it my way or the highway. And so we went through maintenance people like crazy. And I can remember seeing new maintenance people just about every month. There'd be a new maintenance guy. And our local news station actually ran a story on this because there were so many complaints, so many Google complaints. In fact, if you go to Google right now and you search Lakeview Apartments, Haslett, Michigan, that's Lakeview Apartments, Haslett, Michigan, you will see all of the bad reviews. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other review sites that have the same information, other people complaining. So, finally, one of our local news stations, in fact, you can probably find that too, on WILX.com. If you were to search for the Lakeview Apartments news story, they did a news story on just how bad things were and how the owner basically ignores maintenance requests, evicts people for asking for things to be replaced, keeps security deposits with excuses that things need to be replaced that were already broke when the people moved in. There was a lot going on. In fact, I'm actually concerned that my $750 deposit that I have with the apartment is going to be kept for whatever reason. And so I've been spending some time at the place steaming the carpets, doing the walls, repainting the walls, things like that. Stuff that's considered normal wear and tear could be looked at as, that's above normal wear and tear. Sorry, we're going to keep your deposit. So a lot of people were complaining about his shoddy business work. He's from India. He can't really speak English. He's actually a professor at Michigan State University. So he's a millionaire. And he bought the place thinking that it was going to be a treasure trove of income. And unfortunately, he realized that a building that is over 50 years old is going to need maintenance. It's going to need work. It's going to need new furnaces, duct work, roof, everything else. All those responsibilities that come with owning an apartment complex. He basically nickel and dime the place to where a lot of people left. In fact, it was every other day that I saw a moving truck. Not moving in, but people moving out. People just got fed up with it. And it's a standard of living that nobody should have to deal with. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest areas in the nation here. The quietest, the lowest crime rate, a beautiful lake, and yet you have a dump that is right on the lake that people come here and say, oh, this has got to be great. No, when they really experience what it's like to have your roof leak, to have the tub leak downstairs into someone else's roof, I mean, it just went nuts. And when they ran that article, a couple days after that, his attitude just completely changed. And he turned into just a completely different person and started to fix things. But the damage had already been done. It was already too late. Nobody wanted to live there anymore. It was just horrible. So I'm so glad that we're getting out of here. There was too much damage. So anyways,